Alrighty, this will be my video on walking us through the prompt. Similar to my Pushjack video where I was looking at the YouTube video, is this the best painting in history, and kind of analyzing and giving you little snippets here of what I thought and my ideas. I'm going to do the same with the essay prompts for this course. You'll get this every time an essay prompt is given, okay? You already should have reviewed it extensively. I didn't receive any questions, so that's cool. But like I said, you can always ask questions if anything doesn't seem clear. I want to specifically go over the prompt just to give you a few ideas of not only the requirements, right? I hate that word, right? What is required, but also the expectations, I think is important. What do I expect in this essay? Okay, so we'll go over that, maybe go over a little bit of what we're looking for, what I'm looking for specifically, okay? I'm going to give you an idea as to I won't give you for this class, for my any of my English classes, I am not a fill in the blanks type teacher, right? You will not, I will not expect paragraph 1 to be so and so, paragraph 3 to be so and so. It's on you, right? We are at the 1C level. You have had English 1A training, so you know how to build an academic essay, right? So we're going to do that as well. Now, when you take it to that next level and get critical with it, okay? So let's go ahead and go into assignments. Obviously, that's where our first essay is. Okay, this is my page, so yours may look a little bit different, but we can go down to final essays, right? And also don't forget our critical reflection is due tomorrow before midnight. Anywho, final essays. Essay number 1, Las Meninas and Pathos, Ethos, Logos. Okay. I'm gonna, like I said, take this a bit slow because I want to dissect this, right? I want to dissect this prompt closely because I want to, like I said, lay out, hopefully get you started, or no, we should have started this already. We don't got too much time here. It's due Monday before midnight. What I want to start thinking about is how we can start attacking this essay, right? I love that term, right? When I give an essay prompt, first thing you should think in your mind is, how am I going to attack this essay? This is no different here. This is the first one. I want everybody to do well. And it's a little challenging. This is a more challenging prompt than 1A would ask for, okay? So let's go and take a look here. If you take a look at this here, you can preview the document. So if you'd like to print, download that bad boy, print it out. I always recommend doing that just so you can dissect it like any other reading, okay? But for the sake of this assignment, we're just going to look at the actual prompt here on Canvas, okay? Essay 1, Las Meninas and Pathos, Ethos, Logos, okay? Let's read this together and I'll slow this down. For our first essay, I would like you to further explore Diego Velázquez's Las Meninas and analyze how the various sources provided critically interpret this work of art. Okay, let me pause there really quickly. The sources provided critically interpret this work of art is really key there. This is not a summary of the work. Okay, we have enough summary here. It's not a summary. It is more engaged in what? How these critical theorists analyze Las Meninas, right? You will be studying how they study the painting. So the way to think about this is Las Meninas is our centerpiece, right? And everything touches back to Las Meninas, whether it's the Steele poem, the Lesser article, or the Pushchak video, right? They all have a critical examination of Las Meninas, okay? For this essay, you will be looking at that critical examination and how they study the painting, okay? Using Diego Velázquez's painting as a central focus in this critical academic conversation, pause there because this is an academic conversation. When you engage in any type of valuable, or let me just say substantial writing at the college level, you are engaging into what is called an academic conversation. If you discuss this in your 1A class, awesome, right? Entering this conversation. But I want you to imagine that there's been a conversation, and the painting is perfect to think about because as all of them have noted, right? And I mean, really central to Steele's poem is how do we define something as timeless, right? Why is this a timeless work of art, right? So we understand that this painting is roughly 360 years old. There's an academic conversation that has been going on about it. And guess what? After you submit your essay, continue on in your beautiful life, this academic conversation will carry on, okay? It's a way I want you to engage that. How then are you as a critical thinker wading into this academic conversation? What is your injection here, right? Really, it's not asking you just to kind of have a new outlook on it. You can, but I more so for the specifics of this assignment want you to study how they study, okay? And how they also share the information of what they're giving you, okay? So let's return here, academic conversation, and based on what you have read on how pathos, ethos, and logos are used when making a critical argument, you will be tasked to critically analyze how each source uses either pathos, ethos, or logos, or a combination of the three, to make their argument regarding the painting. And then finally, and this is where I feel is the real critical insertion here. This is what makes this prompt critical thinking. And then finally come to a critical evaluation as to which makes the sharpest claim. Okay, you will be making an evaluation claim, and what that really means is you are not only reviewing how they study the painting. You can do so, right? I would like you to do so. You know, in a sense, I want you to engage all three works. It's going to be tricky because all three works, you also have to not only study the works, you also should be making a determination as to how they use pathos, how they use logos, and how they use ethos, okay? Really, the framing of this essay is on you, okay? If you want to say, hey, every author here, every theorist uses logos, cool, you got to prove it though. If you want to say, hey, Lesser uses ethos, Pushchak Nerdwriter uses ethos and logos, Steele uses pathos, etc., blah, blah, blah. Awesome, but prove you know what these terms are, right? Ultimately, after you build that claim, then you come to an overall claim, an evaluation claim, excuse me, as to which is the strongest and why, okay? How you organize and how you frame this essay is really on you, okay? Do you want to simply go over a resemblance claim and understand, okay, cool, this is how they resemble each other in their examination of Las Meninas, this is how they differ, etc., this is how they all use ethos. This is how they all use pathos. Wherever you like to take that. Ultimately, you are working. You're studying how they study the painting and sharing that with a reader. Then you are coming to an evaluation claim. Okay, and this has to be one, right? Should be Lesser's is the most powerful because they blah blah blah, or Pushchak's video does this because it's blah blah blah. Okay. This essay should be about 4 to 5 pages in MLA format and specifically answer this prompt. Okay, this is exactly what you're answering in the crux of the essay. A lot of people feel like their thesis should answer the prompt, and that's not necessarily true. The thesis, your purpose of writing this paper, should speak back to the prompt. This is the assignment ultimately. But with that being said, your whole essay is answering the prompt, okay? So don't try to jam pack too much in your thesis statement. You got to introduce the topic, you know, and this is all 1A stuff, but introduce the topic, handshake with the reader. In your body paragraphs, really engage this prompt here and ultimately answer the question. Conclusion, well then what do you leave your reader with, okay? So let's read this together. Imagine a reader of your essay as someone who has not viewed or studied Las Meninas. Using the painting as a primary source, this is your focus, right? Your primary source. Analyze how Steele, Lesser, and Nerdwriter Evan Pushchak, as secondary sources, all utilize pathos, ethos, logos, or a combination of the three in their critical examination of the painting. Okay, this is where your choice comes in, because you can, if you feel like logos is used more by Lesser or whatever, or like I said, pathos is Steele's way of kind of touching our hearts with poetry, that's your critical claim, okay? Like I said, that's on you. If you feel like that's their strongest, that's great. Now decide which is strongest. Then, this is the crux, and this is what we, you know, it's a little repetitive, but we should get this. Then come to an evaluation claim as to which critical commentator makes the sharpest critical claim, okay? Let's go over these tips, okay? Having a sharpened understanding of how pathos, logos, ethos works based on the Lunsford reading is how you produce a quality essay. Prove to me, as the professor and as the reader really, okay, I want you to think about that because I'm not the only one reading this. I want you to imagine there's an audience. Best way to think about this, your audience is somebody at the 1C level, but they're uninformed. That's why I started the prompt this way. You must imagine a reader or somebody has not been introduced to loss meaningless as we have in this course, okay? So, and I want you to think about that, the Lunsford reading. If you need to teach also a little bit about pathos and logos, you're making a critical connection there, right? Please feel free to use quotes from the textbook to support your claim. This is not mandatory. I don't have a mandatory quotation exercise. No, you use what you need, okay? But also, like I said, I want you to prove that you have a good grasp or handle on pathos, logos, ethos, okay? Next bullet point here, this essay should be in MLA format. Okay, please review Purdue OWL MLA sample paper if you need a refresher. That was early on in the course. Citing, integrating quotes, a fresh refresher on formatting, citing, integrating quotes, etc. Okay, I do not give MLA lessons or grammar workshops in this class. We're at the 1C level, but feel free to ask questions. If you don't know how to cite a quotation, if you're unsure of it, that's fine. I want you to treat the works cited as mandatory for all essays. Next bullet point. Again, please review Purdue OWL on how to cite correctly. You can cite both the lesser, I meant to capitalize that, it's my mistake, but the article and the poem as URLs, as electronic sources, okay? Pretty simple. If that's challenging, you can message me as well, okay? But make sure it looks fine. You can also review Purdue OWL for a sample works cited page. Okay, so use Purdue OWL if you have any citation or formatting issues. I don't really give too much teaching at this level. But you can always ask questions if there's something that's not making sense. Next bullet point, and this is obviously not mandatory. This is an online course. A lot of you shared amazing stories of why you're taking online and why it's you have a lot of work or family obligations. Totally cool, right? If you are on campus and can come by my office hours, please do so. Okay. I understand this is an online course, but please keep in mind I will do my best to answer questions if anything is unclear. Please reach out. Okay, so especially during those times I'm in my office, I'm constantly checking Canvas. I try to check it as much, especially because we're online. So message me in the inbox to your left if you have a question, concern. Pretty chill with that. This is not a life lesson class. I'm not going to punish you if you feel like, but we got deadlines for a reason. It's a 16-week course. Okay. So please feel free to reach out, talk to me, email, whatever you want to do. Inbox is the best, but if you want to email me, that's cool too. I might miss it, but I really try my best to get back to you ASAP and work with you. My goal is for everybody to do well in this course, okay? And I don't want anything to be confusing. This essay is due September 23rd before midnight. Okay, I apologize that I left that out, but it is before midnight. So that's Monday before midnight. Okay, so let's take a look here. You can always review when this is due. Okay, when you go under assignments, right? So you can, you got a to-do list. I got the same. Okay, we got this here. We see, let me double check here. Essay number 1, Las Meninas, Pathos, Ethos, Logos, available until September 23rd, due September 23rd at midnight. Whoops, didn't mean to move that over. This is worth 100 points. Okay, if you feel you can finish early, please send me your rough draft. I will do my best. If I can't read the whole rough draft, I will at least look over your thesis, your organization, some kind of bigger issues, and I will give feedback to you, right? If you want to pop a rough draft in open class discussion and get your thoughts on maybe your classmates can share, that'd be awesome. I would appreciate that. Maybe down the road, I'll give you extra credit for doing it that way. We're going to do more peer review. This one is kind of getting our feet wet assignment, but I think that'd be great. So if you want to, and I'll make an announcement about that as well. If you want to add your rough draft in class discussions, that's cool. If you want to send it to me one-on-one, I will do my best to read the bulk of it before the essays due. Okay, let's return back to the prompt. So, and lastly, of course, good luck, kick ass, do your best. Okay, you will be submitting this. You have to submit it before the 23rd. It's through turnitin.com. So obviously, I got to keep you, honest, and I'm sure everybody will be honest, right? But it will give you a score as to your Turnitin kind of similarity score is what it's called. Okay, should be it. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's more anything that could confuse you. This is our first essay. This is a 4 to 5 pages, full 4 to 5 pages, right? Don't hit that 3-page because you will be docked points, and it really won't be because it's a rule that I'm saying, oh, you must hit this page range. That's because you're not engaging in the material enough. Okay, I've given you enough material. You have the textbook, you have the 3 sources, you also have the painting to engage with, okay? And I want you to think about that. Think about that when you write that.